Hi, everyone. Welcome back to The Quiet Part Out Loud. I'm Alex.
And I'm Nuvyn.
And today we're talking about another study that I found on the internet. Korn Ferry did a study where they surveyed 4,000 women professionals and found 47% of them had admitted that menopause had decimated their work performance, but none of them had told their employer. And 40% reported severe memory lapses. 44% lost their ability to concentrate.
Yeah, that tracks. That's a pretty astounding stat.
It is really. And I admittedly am only starting to experience these symptoms, I think. Like I had my first hot flash the other day and was like, what is happening? But the memory lapses, or you're in the middle of a sentence and you just forget the English language.
Right.
Like you don't know what word you want to say.
It's funny, like I chalk it up to either, oh, I'm just tired, or I'm
Yes.
hungry, or maybe I'm thirsty. Not like, actually, maybe there's a hormonal imbalance that needs to be addressed medically. And I think as women, we don't really know what symptoms to be looking for, but you somehow know like, wait, is this right? Or is everybody experiencing this?
Agreed. I think the brain fog, I'm exhausted all the time, that's something we are used to just pushing through and,
Right.
remedying on our own.
Chalking it up to so many other things.
Yeah.
Right.
There could be an underlying cause.
That's interesting. Like the changing and of your body in its kind of like natural progression from childbearing years to child rearing years and carrying years to then being in this peri and menopausal stage is not often understood, let alone discussed as part of how that impacts your work performance.
Mm-hmm. I do though appreciate that it is being discussed now, and it's not taboo. Our generation is kind of hearing what these symptoms are and what maybe the causes, and what we can do about it versus, I mean, I can't imagine what it was like 20 or 30 years ago.
Right. Well, clearly, I mean, if people are feeling 47% of women said their career was decimated, that's a very strong word too.
It is a strong word. Another quote I have from this study is that executive women are quitting at the peak of their power because masking their symptoms takes more energy than the job itself. So they are leaving the workforce because of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can see that. And if you don't have a health advocate or you're not sure what's going on with your body, that becomes overwhelming.
Yeah.
And whether you chalk it up to burnout or stress or, questioning your life choices in general, like, am I cut out for this job? I should be able to handle the pressure. Why can't I? And then you start doubting yourself and your own ability when really it could just be a function of your body's changing hormones and what your body's going through.
Yeah. And just another thing to keep in mind for, our peers, women professionals, about how we uniquely experience the workplace. We are different. We have these unique experiences that we, at the very least, need to have information about and, need to kind of figure out how to navigate.
Right. I have a hard time finishing sentences sometimes, or I forget what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
But then I just chalk it up to like, I must be really tired, or maybe I'm hungry, because it's always an excuse then to eat or something.
I know. Or just starting a task. I mean, this also could be ADHD, or anything else.
Right.
But, just starting something where you're like, this is very simple.
Yes. But you know what? When you mention ADHD, that is another emerging health outcome and issue for women, particularly in later professional stages of their lives, that are being diagnosed at an incredibly high rate in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah. I was diagnosed when I was 38, and I was previously blaming baby brain because I had just had 2 babies.
Really?
So I was like, I have no memory because I gave birth. So yeah, it took me until I was 38 years old to be diagnosed.
Wow. Talk about that. Like, what did you know what it was, or did you have a great doctor who was like, I think you have ADHD?
I had a leader who was going through the diagnosis process with her son, and she was talking about it, and she said, my son's therapist said, you probably have it. It's highly inheritable. So if a child has it, likely one or both of their parents also has ADHD.
Right.
And so she was then telling me about her process about going through and being diagnosed. And I was like, we're very similar. And like, I can't believe this is ADHD. And so that is what sparked me to then go and like take it's a 6-hour diagnosis test and all of that sort of thing.
You
so
could focus for 6 hours?
No.
Maybe that's why the test is so long. Because if you can't, you have it.
It was funny because one of the questions is like, do you lose things all the time? Do you lose your keys or do you misplace your phone? And I was like, no. And then I went home and Mike was like, you leave your keys in the front door. Like
Right.
I just had no idea because I had just moved through my life like that the whole time.
Yes. You acclimate to it and you kind of work around it.
Yeah, you mask. And so you build these things. One of the other things was that I didn't realize was that I'm hyper organized. So I'm always thinking ahead to sort of predict what might I forget, what will I not do.
Mm-hmm.
Like when I'm working, I always have lists. There's lists everywhere. There's little lists. If I don't write it down, I'll forget.
You'll forget it.
Yeah.
I love making lists, but they're usually half of the lists I make are things that I've already done so that I have the satisfaction of crossing something off a list because that feels so good. Like I've accomplished it.
It's true. The cross out or the check mark. But
I'll make a list and then I'll lose the list so that I make another list. I probably have 50 lists, half of which are things I've done and shouldn't be on a list anyway. But it just feels good to like see that line of something crossed out.
Totally.
You've achieved it.
Yeah. So if I ever don't do something, just remind me and my feelings will not be hurt.
Say, Alex, wasn't this on your list? Yeah. I lose my train of thought all the time. Yeah. That memory fog is real. Maybe I should go to my doctor. Well, speaking of doctors, we do have a great career development dialogue coming up on June 22nd, where we will be interviewing and having a great open, candid panel discussion with a couple of doctors on like your career and how your life and your biology is changing over time and how does that align with various career stages as well.
Specifically focused on women's health.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
That'll be very interesting.
Very exciting.
We'll have to get really raw and vulnerable. Like that's the hard part too, is that if we're not talking about these challenges openly, I mean, clearly, I can't remember what percentage of that study said they did not disclose it to their boss.
Yeah.
If it was another ailment, would you treat it the same way?
Totally.
I don't know if I should call menopause an ailment.
If it was men, would we tell our employers?
Right? If your employer was a man, or
if men experienced menopause, would they talk about it at work?
Yeah.
I think it would be more commonplace.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. I think we have a hard time understanding it ourselves. And so as a result, we have a hard time talking about it because I think you question, is this something that I should go see a doctor for, or do I just need more sleep?
Always need more sleep. We always need more sleep. Regardless of what our hormones are doing.
Right. That is true. Well, I hope you can join us. For those of you who are in the Calgary area on June 22nd, it'll be a great opportunity to learn more about women's health, and we will see you soon.
See you there.
The Quiet Part Out Loud is produced by Access Connects and brought to you by Oh, wait, is there a sponsorship opportunity there? Learn more at accessconnects.com.